lawmaker, Honorable J. Marvin, who will be speaking to the media on several issues, beginning with the court ruling that just passed at the Prince City Court, where a judgment favored him against the two defendants, Madam Betty Bayo Johnson, and another issue that relates to the giving of cash by the Honorable Office that were alleged by some individuals that they gave that money. You'll be touching on those two issues basically. So, gentlemen, welcome. Good morning, Honorable Cole, and welcome to the media.
Thank you very much, members of the press. I'm happy this day we want to dedicate it to our party, the National Patriotic Party of the Republic of Liberia, and the Coalition for Democratic Change. We are part of an institution. Sometimes people have misunderstood and misrepresented us. My constituents in Bong County District Number 3, and those sympathizers and supporters, our staff, and every member of my team. Today is a great day because God has vindicated us through the law. On January 15, we took a matter to the court because we felt we were being disrespected, and people thought and felt if you are a lawmaker, it means that anybody can just do anything to you, anybody can say anything to you. So we thought to try the judicial process of our country, and we sought the path of the law for almost 6 months. I have committed myself through the magisterial court at Pinsway, and today the court brought down a verdict indicting and bringing down guilty the Imbayo's family, Dr. Moses Imbayo, for felonious restraint, and then his wife, Betty Johnson Imbayo, also for disorderly conduct. Separate sentences were levied against them. Dr. Imbayo for 90 days imprisonment at the Monrovia Central Prison, and Betty Imbayo at the same Monrovia Central Prison. On these accounts, about January 15, we record that she posted on her official Facebook page that I melted injuries on her, ordered my securities to beat on her. So the law has not established that it was false, it was misleading, it was baseless, and it's just a message to send that we should not use our professions and our positions in country to intimidate or infringe on the rights of other people. Now, the last one is, when I returned to country, I went to my constituents, as I've always done. We have 14 high schools in District Number 3 that I represent. Whenever there was children go through the process, we try to encourage them. We get each of those schools, students, the 12 reader, 50,000. In the process of the distribution of that cash, because I felt that we should be able to motivate our students when they perform. It was alleged by some members of the very student community that it would be used by politicians that gave me the monies that I was distributing. So they told them not to take the money that were given to the high school student because it came from Give Directly. It is not clear that Give Directly has issued an official press release telling them at no point in time they have ever met me, and I'll share that press release with you. What were alleged in Bong County, they have had no connection in Bong County since 2022. So today is a victory day for me that I've been vindicated at different levels. And I'm sending a caveat to my colleagues and politicians who believe that if you are not performing, your friends performing, you want to use surrogates to denigrate the high-end character is wrong. We should not use our students for any evil purpose or purposes at any given time. So members of the press and my families, my daughter who were questioning me that a journalist said that you're beat on, and I told her I'm going through the law and we will be vindicated. I want to send a message around the world that my person was misrepresented by this family. They lie, and the court have established that. So they have 14 days. They took an exception to the circuit court or wherever they want to go. But I am giving them an opportunity because I know the Lord is the law. So if they realize that what they did it was wrong, as a national leader will forgive them. But if we seek the path of the Lord and get at the level of the Supreme Court, I'm also preparing to sue them for damages if they continue to be adamant and pursue the path of the law, and will continue to do that because I know what comes from the magisterial court, it will not misrepresent the facts. It's the facts, it's their testimony. Nobody told them to talk what they said. And the judgment was based on the law. Thank you.
Honorable Court, you sound very enthusiastic this morning, having come from the court with such a judgment. What relief does that brought to you? I mean, the judgment?
Is the fresh thing to my family, because history, posterity will judge people. I don't want my daughter or my sons, they go in the street and somebody saying to them, oh, your father was lawmaker, he ordered the beating or flogging of journalists and doctor. I mean, today, our family names have been clear that we did not do so, and that what I sucked the path. Nobody, I don't think any sitting lawmaker of this 54 national legislature have been able to submit to the process of the court for over 6 months that I always did on time. Because I wanted to test the ability of the law. So I'm more than happy. My constituents, the people who are represented, I want them to know that you did not send any disrespectful person, disorganized person. So this serves as a caveat to those who misrepresented us.
You sounded very very forgiving in your any statement, like when you come to the drawing board, we can find a way to sort it out. Considering the energy, the time, the resources you put into that case, don't you think, I mean, just waiving the case will encourage?
No, I'm not waiving. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say here is I'm not looking at how much money that I have invested in this process. What I'm looking at is my character and the law. I wanted to ensure that the law is the law and I should be vindicated. If my name is clear, it's more than the losses that I've incurred in these processes, because I wanted it very clearly and very soundly sent into the public that Honorable Cole did not order the flogging of journalists and medical doctors. And I also want to send a very strong message to the PUL, in as much that the lady is a former journalist and she misinformed the public. No leader from the PUL ever took an opportunity to engage me to ask me, Honorable Cole, what is your side of the story? Even though some of them went there, they investigated, they ascertained the facts. Stay, they held on to the facts and stay, said, yeah, oh, the lady is a journalist, we have to protect one of us. No, the English one of us, we should not do that. When the members of your institution does wrong, be able to investigate and penalize them. So the law has not established. And hoping specifically OKFM will be able to have the moral rectitude to come in the public and say that Honorable Cole has been vindicated, as my name will be smelled by them all over that I flogged journalists. It was a tough line. While we're in the court, they were reporting. I hope that OKFM is still operating in the Republic of Liberia, and they will muster the courage to say that Betty Mbayo and that the Moses Mbayo have been brought down guilty against the sitting lawmakers of District Number 3, Bong County.
Let's consider the issue of this give direct money that people allege that were given to you by give directly. Where do you think that is coming from?
It's just little petty politicians who try to use the play on the minds of the students, because the limitations of some of the kids, they told them, oh, don't take the money, because they did not understand why. Since I became lawmaker, whenever they took their wives, we'll call them together, have some fun with them, and share the $50,000, because that money I've worked for I always save it to encourage them, to give them hope, so that the students can be rewarded after their test. I believe there are some politicians in our county who are not performing, and they are very, very jittery about my performances at different levels, so they thought to use that to besmell my character. But I want to be grateful to give directly, have issued an official press release telling the public that at no point in time they have ever met me. That is to uphold and validate my conversation with the students, that if Give directly comes and tell you that I ever met them, it meant that, oh, what you're saying is true. But they got to be a little bit careful. So I just want to tell them I will continue to do what I'm doing. I will continue to support the people to uphold the name of the Coalition for Democratic Change that believe in the masses of the Republic of Liberia.
Finally, Honorable Marvin, what will you make of the judiciary system, having gone through all of the processes and coming up with this result?
Well, I sat and patiently listened to the lawyers. I listened to the judge. I listened to all of the testimonies from both us and the opposing parties, and I thought we should have a fair justice being dispensed, and that is what has happened today. So today I can clearly tell anybody that if you are a sitting lawmaker If you are offended, do not use your power, do not use any force. Go to the law and let the law fight for you, because the strength of the law is greater than any weapon in the world. That is the most important and most powerful weaponry you can use to destroy anything. So it's the law. And I kept on holding to the law, and we are where we are today.
Thank you so much, Honorable.
So, just from my end, what can you say? Maybe other people might think that maybe your influence somehow managed to get you this victory. What can you say?
Or probably somebody will say that, but it's not my influence that gave them the testimony. The defendant spoke. Their lawyer listened to them. It was not my influence that said, better in bio, telling them, yes, I walked to him, told him, take cease of this madness. You cannot see a sitting lawmaker. It is not my influence that told her to walk to me and hijack me my shirt. It was not my influence. So those fights were established. The people sent people there. The police sent people, they investigated from their own testimonies. The court minutes are there. That's why the judge ruling, the judge's ruling today, he referred to different sittings and their testimonies. That, look, for one instant where Betty Imbayo said she walked to me and said, take cease of this madness. Her witness, one of the witnesses that they brought, the witness said, no, she never said it. Your own witness said you never said it, and you said you said it. So there was disorganization in their testimonies that everything I said was validated by all of the witnesses that I brought, because we're not making our story was a fight. So the law is the law.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.